Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Well, it's Monday. The markets are back open, right? What's going on? Well, we're back in rally mode. We had that big rally on Friday, and we're continuing again today. Dow's up almost 300. Nasdaq's up 200. The rally mode is continuing. Now, what happened? Okay, so everybody was on the short side, right? We were in an oversold position. Everybody was betting the market was going to go down more, and that's where you get this short covering rally. It's being a short squeeze. We're going higher, right? Okay, well, this rally is going to fail also. Now, where's it going to fail at? Now, nobody knows exactly, but if they did, they'd be very wealthy. But let's take a look. All right, so we were at 410 on the SPY, and we dropped to just below 380. So 410 to 380, right? That's 30 points. Usually you rebound about 50% of that. So 30 points, 50% rebound would be 15 points. So about 395. So I'm thinking on the 395 to 400 level is where the rally is going to fail. And then we're going to start that downward slide over again. Now, if we get up to 410, I mean, that's just a gift to the short sellers because they will come back in and beat this thing down. That'd be a triple top at 410. But I think at 395 to 400 is a good place where I will start putting shorts on again. This market is going to head lower. I still believe that. Now, could I be wrong? Of course I can. I'm wrong a lot. Sometimes the market just takes off and keeps going, but I think this market is going to fail, and I think we're going to come down. That's my take on the market. Yours, once again, could be completely different. All right, so let's go over to the housing market. Well, the housing market over the weekend, I like to read the articles that come out, and they always fascinate me. Now, Redfin, they always are. They're so fun, right? The CEO of Redfin says the housing market's in a terrible mess. And he says that there's going to be a terrible consolidation in the real estate industry. Now, he says that there's a lot more pain to come for the housing market. Now, I tend to agree with them that there's going to be a lot more pain. The real estate sector is in crisis. This is just his words. These aren't my words. They could be my words because I agree with most of them. But what we have is about 5 million houses for sale right now. Well, we have about 1.5 million real estate agents. Now, I knew that the real estate market was going to be coming down because the number of real estate agents, we kind of peaked out back in June up around 1.7 million agents. I mean, people, when this market took off, right? Okay, so everybody gets in to the real estate market. I got a couple of friends, they were working in the tech industry. They're now in the real estate industry because that's where everybody goes when they get, the tech industry starting to lay off. So let's jump into the real estate industry. I'll sell houses. That's what I'll do. So everyone piled in and we got a record number of agents, and that hit the record number back in about June, but they're starting to drop off really quickly. Agents are getting out of the business because there's not enough money to be made. So we're already down about 200,000 agents. We were at 1.7. Now we're about 1.5. All right. So we got 1.5 million agents, and they're fighting over the 5 million houses that are for sale. So that's about 3 houses for every agent if all the houses were to sell. Now, in my area, if you sell 3 houses, you're making a decent living. Not a great living, but you're making a pretty good living. But in a lot of the areas where a home sells for, $500,000, the average home, you don't make much money selling 3 houses. So there's too many agents in the real estate industry, and there's going to be a shakeout. And that's how you're going to know that we're getting closer to the bottom. When that number goes from 1.7 to 1.5 down to 1.2, you get down to 1 million agents. You're at the bottom because that means everybody got out, right? But 1 million agents still sounds like a lot, but that's actually a low number for modern times. All right, so there's back during the pandemic, it's kind of fascinating. In 2021, let's call it, there were actually more real estate agents than there were homes for sale. That's fascinating to me, okay? But this is what I'm saying, okay, so too many agents got in, and now they're getting out, and there's going to be this big shakeout, according to Redfin. It's going to be what's called a terrible consolidation. There's a lot of layoffs in the real estate industry. Companies like Compass, like Redfin, they're laying people off. Zillow laying people off. Open Door laying people off. The real estate industry, it's just in disarray. Well, real estate agents, so they don't really get laid off, I mean, they're on a commission only. If they sell something, they get paid. But what happens to real estate agents is they become Uber drivers. Now, have you ever been in an Uber where the guy turns around and he hands you his business card and he's a real estate agent? It's actually happened to me twice. And I'm a broker, so I find this fascinating. I'm just going, well, how's that business going for you? Not too well. That's why I'm driving the Uber. It cracks me up, these people. But okay, so we're going to get this consolidation going on in the real estate industry amongst companies, right? So some of these companies, their stocks aren't really doing well. If you look at Redfin, they were at $100 and now they're down at $4. What is that? Well, that'd be about a 96% loss. Now, okay, you take Open Door, they were at $40. I think they're under $1 now. You can buy them for $1. Well, I don't even know what percentage that is, but it's a big drop, right? Big drop. Zillow Group, $200 down to $30. Oh, 85% drop. But there's going to be a consolidation amongst these companies. Okay, now here's one of my favorite ones. Okay, Compass Real Estate. They went public just 2 years ago at about $20 a share, let's call it. And now they're trading for, $2 and change, let's call it. So they dropped 90% of the value. Now, I'm frustrated with myself for not shorting the company because here's what they were doing. You see, Redfin says we're coming out with this consolidation now. Well, what Compass was, they were ahead of the game. They were consolidating back then. Now, how were they doing it? Well, they were buying all these little boutique brokers, right? They got this investor money. They got the hedge fund money. They brought in billions of dollars and the hedge funds, right? Out of the hedge funds, and they gave it to Compass. Okay, they gave this money to Compass, and then Compass went out and they paid these boutique brokerage firms about 4 or 5 times the value that they're really worth. So they were buying all these companies and they were growing their revenue because they would bring on the agents from those companies and their revenue was going up like this, but they were paying the agents more than the agents were bringing in. So the revenues were going up, but their profits were just going down. Okay, now that you see, now actually they were pretty much a genius, right? Okay, so they take $1 billion of hedge fund money and you go out and you buy these little boutique brokerages and you pay the real estate brokers more than they bring in, so your revenues are going up. And Wall Street like that. They like to see revenues going like this. They go, oh, this company's on fire, we got to get him. So when they went IPO, right, they dumped this pile of, well, let's call it what it is, a pile of crap onto the general public at $20, okay? And then it's been straight down ever since. They never made money. Their business model doesn't make money. There's so many companies like this right now. These are called zombie companies and they don't make money. They never will make money. So Compass, once they dumped it onto the unsuspecting public, because the public doesn't really do their due diligence. Now, me being a real estate broker, I could see exactly what they were doing. They were doing Bernie Madoff stuff, but yeah, it was legal. It was legal, and that's where the genius comes in. Hey, let's get the revenues to go like this. Let's get the profits to go like this. We're never going to make any money, but we can dump this onto the public for, let's call it $10 billion. So they take their billion, turn it into $10 billion. They're out, and now it's going down. I think it's below $1 billion now, and it's probably going to continue to fall. But they're looking probably to consolidate, as the Redfin CEO would say. A lot of consolidation is going to happen with these companies. In other words, if there's any company that's strong, they can buy these for just a song and a dance. I mean, these companies are trading so cheaply now. I mean, because they don't make money though, right? I think they're going to zero. I think Open Door's going away. Compass has never made money. It's a zombie company. They got to borrow money to pay off their debt, just to pay the interest on their debt. Not pay off their debt. They got to borrow more. Their whole business model is to borrow more and more and more and try to stay alive until someone, poor fool, comes along and buys them. This is just my opinion. Now, you may think they're a great company, and they dominate the area that I'm in the Bay Area. The Compass is everywhere. They got agents out there selling, but the stock stock's not doing very well. All right, so there's going to be this consolidation now. Well, why is that? Well, the real estate market is having a lot of trouble. Now, the real estate market itself is only down 10%, and the builders are kind of holding up pretty well still. I mean, Lennar is one of the better, more successful builders. They were at $115, $120. They're down here around $90, $95. Not a big drop yet because they're still making money, and they're smart. They're getting ahead of the game, and that's what they're doing is they're cutting the prices on their houses so they can bring the cash back into the company and they can try to do the game again. They're trying to stay alive, but their stocks haven't dropped that much yet. Now they may drop. I'm thinking these builders are going to get in trouble, but my point is that prices haven't come down that much. They've come down about 10%. Now if they start to come down like the real estate companies, oh my goodness, 80-90% off sales, right? Okay, maybe they will. I'm just calling for 50% off. People get really upset because they go, oh, Mike, that could never happen in my area. And I get that. Your area, you know, well, that's where Billy Bob lives. Everybody sells at Billy Bob's price in your area, and that's perfectly fine. But the thing is that houses right now, they're staying on the market twice as long as they did a year ago. And yet prices are still coming down. Prices are still dropping. Pending home sales are declining at a record pace. They are. They're just dropping, right? Now here's the thing. People, well, they don't really have any savings left. Savings have also declined at a record pace. Okay, but a lot of people right now are spending 50% of their household income just to pay their mortgage. Now, this isn't going to work out for them very well because look at 50% goes to paying their mortgage. After taxes, they got nothing left to eat. So eventually these houses are going to come back onto the market in a form of a foreclosure, a forced sale, if you will. And that's going to drive the prices down more and more. It's just the way it's going to work. Prices are still coming down. Now, the volumes are way off. The volumes, we're down about 50% from this time last year. This time last year, there were twice as many homes being sold. But right now, there's all these agents, and they're dropping like rocks because there's no homes to sell. Look at the number of transactions in my area are off 50% from what they were a year ago, but the number of agents has gone up. Isn't that fascinating? I'm telling you, there's going to be a big flush out in the industry, right? And maybe this consolidation will help some of these companies to stay alive. Maybe Redfin can merge with Compass and make one company. I don't know how it's going to play out. I really don't. But I do know that the real estate market is in a big mess right now. It's circling the drain down, and you're going to see the prices starting to follow of homes. This is just my take. If you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. Why not? It's Monday. Get out there, everybody. Have a great Monday. I'm Tall Mike. Bye-bye now.